Wako we made ba Adom TV Badwam ni eguso a yede nkomo edi free and crying edi bro no baby a wo he na no pay eguso a nchi asronko na yede ma se na onimu no e bra so yede mpensim edi bro pensim no eye afa yene mpanifo sinkonya eto adwen kese na ebe yi na wa adwen to no mu adwen chirechire mu no ebe fa mu adwen na itimi de achire o man Ghana and pay se na onimu no o text messages no Papa 1760 and also email kabat@myjoyonline.com. Twitter handle no kojo kaba kojo kab. Nko ben ena we yapono so ena no pay. Unim se nyame adom a bosumi ewo mi ne de toso aduono nkron ena 22nd. Nti akabe se enna ebe se enson na sa adwumadie no adru ho. Electoral Commission aton safre amanyoku ahodo a wo memu enye omonko a other civil society organizations ankrankra adwumadie anase ekueku a ensha baase na ensoso wo boama kebimami kebiamambu eni mpuntu otimi koso no omo ena afi ankrankra obi a wa na adwene anase wo adwen kire bi se abato ya yebeto na afi empinu ni du nsia no mo no yesese yesakira bibi ana ye nsakira kakra ewo kwan fa so eto abantichu abato ngman sese ye foforo ana sese ye foforo no nyame adom asadwumedie be koso e wonkran ha na enumu na adwen toatoa ne adwen kirechire enumu guso e koso so beka na ansane ne the Institute of Economic Affairs sadwumeku a wonso so another civil society organization eton safra manyoku ahodo num se wo momra na wo mekire wo adwen titiri MPP ni NDC sanse wo mo no mu ditintima pa NDC for enra ura sedun kete chire mu nyenti a na omugidi so omukwa enyeye na wosa adwumedie na ase na Dr. Ransford Jampo ya wono ye chiche ni University of Ghana senior lecturer or political science department HSA kwan ya MPP for afaso a wo mu chire mu no wono wonte ase kra esane se ohwe mu a sane aniema na kokoko ene wo munchire mu omde ba no enye emuduro no nye duru kese ese nu nti no yekone yekwasesa abato ngoma no enkomo a yebekoso ani yedie ni ebisa se nti yesesa no aneye ana yansesa no aneye ebinum se cleaning ebinum se change the voter register enkomo a yede bebrel yede West Africa Gas Company for ka omni and gas about 181 million me yakotu emu 9.5 WAPCO for say government must come with further and better particulars. Ekano yeye ibetua eho asem ho and afi UTAC for say one more ebeko strike esan say aban eduomuka research and book allowance. Na paper review time no ye to abonten say Court of Appeal ya wokumase enra etenase ma MPP for tita for be say num tamale basabasa ya see here 2008 elections no mrantie numbi ye chewo mo se obo kan bi ma NDC ni abrantie bi hwere ne nkwa on tokwa bi esisi wo Tamale High Court etche se yankot form nkoto afiase various sentences ba kokra de ne say sentence to death emo mo ko appeal ana obribo ahen ene lead lawyers no ama okuchuchaje sa mrantie numi nana memo akwaba na on today
Samia Baroma.
Oh, Sunya na say wa bankran. That's so broadening or horizon.
Mama, Babu Kakana Masayaba.
Is it your bankran cho?
Oh, last 2 weeks the more Ntabo.
Let's all about my into unka.
Masa, you got a son of mama, so home from. Oh, home from. Oh, no, I home from where you jump into home from. I don't want protocol.
Oh, sorry, is that coming?
Ayo, from Amaba.
But na was your phone here, that's the son of Pewaji and so.
You open that.
Na, come around into a candle, Jabusum Nasibu Jenny Socha. Otiha.
Ola Michiano Pa, Honorable my Uncle Bravo, Honorable Michiano Pa. No, I buy.
I only will be one or ha.
Hey! Senior lawyer. Hey, lawyer Pay, that's a lawyer Kukudampa, sponsor there. so blata kona ko in ka so na nka se ma no ko sheho so blata ko platini so eja no ho aka enti na je se ka se ko obi amo ana se ma no ko sheho ona bodo man suro ta cho ba ko sheho pe
Is it the ama Isa Hayatu to on her so kakranza?
Oh, Isa Hayatu since 1988 you have been in football since 1988 my generation for be ma o go that club of the sports songo o go about on frame
so go frame on
since na ball dem ya get na say na PSG na Real Madrid the ball you show me your Barcelona no na no me share into no say me the PSG na Real Madrid na ka me bon pass yi ka Madrid lose an ka be me do you show me so team number sa ba de no ko be din bobo
na say be United no mo
Oh, we don't swallow. What's that? What did you do? Passa my castle. There is a gun of the Baba Nina Hornament of you. Now, I'm well with them, Sarasamaca. Why, I guess I was everybody point to be a Jagana boss or so. Honestly, I don't have much appearance. And I say,
why are they?
A Manchester, Chocolate, some Barcelona, then we sign Chelsea.
Martin,
I mean, yeah, the other no craning, Ababraka.
You, Martin, Nana, Meka Songo, now, Omar has said,
I'm from some time, say, I'm not going to manage to 1988, watch out the door. Oh, yeah, there were one class, I'm not crank, I don't woman now will try.
They say to say what to take was in and Chimo take you over.
Oh, question the cheese, are you okay? Question the cheese, are you okay? Question the channel, so be a mobia, yeah, okay, perfect. Oh, perfect.
Nana, I say, it is a good year, Musa. No, I'm so need you, sir. It's a one day.
I'm for question you,
Papa, Tanoba Foka, Tanoba Foka.
Remember, I say, my good line up and run, and I mean,
there be Tanoba Foka, the last time I'm mobile match.
Oh, I didn't Kai. Line up, Cramming. So far, oh, my nigga, the PSG line up for Mecca.
Oh, yeah, the PSG for
Open and line up for Mecca.
Mate, we so, yeah, dear.
Atletico Madrid, the cry line up Mecca. Fernando Torres goes to watching this season, Mecca.
Hey.
Football.
Oh, Papa.
And can come with you and again call.
Yeah, Ghana, the enemy count. Why?
Yo.
Na, Ebani saying I'm 19, what you talk you on we.
Match for
almost
a lawyer for me to her. I cannot your Obiam.
I can't only you of it will so.
Oh, yeah, lawyer, the old Mudanwa, quoted the old Muda, who called that fellow. Even faculty or and send our law school for a lawyer. Appeal. Normally, the lawyers will tell us appeal the friend in the form of rehearing. Nikki said, appeal, Mitchell said,
yes, I could hear you.
Because yes, in the pew. Because in the pew, and as a send back of a dancer for. Mcata, no one can approach him. Unless, of course, extreme and exceptional circumstances. Not appellate court about fresh evidence. And look at exceptional circumstances. Ubenya Poku versus Poku. And on the HDR, old to me, young fresh evidence. Indeed, Wamuko, Omobe, a year, Mkata, no, Cassia, no, George for a share, and make us a better can Yamabuma, the job and run.
Na, who did he say? A dear from Swana High Court to New York, appellate court, no. Esanko yuhi mu na afedie yese yeja omo acquitted, discharged and acquitted. Just say asem no yentimi san free biem kra
betimi san free bio. You see, the person me pesa me back home to High Court from Showe. I am from Showe. Because see, ethically, professionally, you know, a lot of we baby and never be on my so we anumum kakra. The ethics of your profession, no, and my own yanasa. You obey your answer, yet, be for family. My appeal. George and Pen for by principle, but she should back a BBS and Bawo. Bahono, Basonaso. Ben who said, we have a beer for no, and yet, the jabber, That is how the ethics of my profession. But sometimes I'm going to commentary say, Nita Malika say, ni way say, Nata Malika say, because of efficacy. I don't think it would be fair, more especially as a senior and seasoned lawyer now. Yeah, say, yeah, the BIA, them. Yeah, set aside, no, many high court will care, no, presumption said, let them crossing. Yaba, I played court now, Baby Tuagu.
I see. Now, the Omwa not a prosecutor, no, they decided say they will move on to the next court, which is the court, Supreme Court, no, a bear on one.
Mammy, all you are, no, ball. I don't know, has a baby and better take 4 points. Nobody my house. I'll be the opportunity na Pino, a bear yan and ye, opportunity with the Munyabotare. Munya botare brechen yetruwa ibu kwa nebe for shake at brechen no afi de na nebe ko ya kotoko nyanya point nti opokunti advice ni mefa logical advice of mefa ole munya botare you cross the bridge when we come to it.
I see. They say near Court of Appeal na kan say mranti enui wo ma form ho adi kra yentimi safa kwa du mo mu biom sa na che
sir. Once again, a lawyer for me, look to when I now I set aside and they are just a first trial, Derby.
Just said they cannot be charged on the same count. Sanity.
The same count, the same offense.
Yo, any other paper do I see near the sea? I'm sure.
No, I'm about to so I'm better Hobiana.
What's it?
Dana beka Hobiana.
I doubt by my assunti over better. Na so him so me bono ya me second home and own him. The two man am trying to
Obi na akando.
Mate wo mo jo so. Na na bring one a lead lawyer the masa emirante nu a court do omutum binum kra na say death in aka ho bi but Court of Appeal kuma say apa on kronye ti abo hu hire emane wo mu kofia kodi fufuo ne nkwan the tuza fin suso a na eno suso ho asem no Babla Minta Kando member of Parliament Edema Jaboso Deputy Minister Lands and Natural Resources Babla Machi
yeah me
Saso ye heard him say enchora obi amoa osaibo nsu amoa ono nso ye mrahye bejani de ma ekrapem south wono nso so ebetra se na ye de nkomo aho no yetimi ato aso Babla constituency to say
me Adom na mpaibo
November no adru ha ni o and 22nd me wa yeah 7th November it is saying constituency amount for no on no contest here saying
oh nipa
bako na a form to saying
me Adom na mpaibo feedback ayenya no adwuma ye no ma ye ene etena ye no ma tena
so you one term MP this is your first term
so message nankasa wo mo ankasa ho okọ branch bia na udu okra bo say wo message kra de koye no kra no ombe ma message a powerful crossing with you no for example me call baby branch bi ko share omo ye di nkomo wie na nipa ba ko sorry kan o say obi a wakọ mrahye badwa fie first unye ye boni bia okoye nso akọhye animunya ya ma deputy minister na ye be sacrifice so what's the guarantee say ye dey bow for bar sa position na bind the amount no be senya. This is a very powerful message.
This is now
no in politics baby abedu bia na hu kasa but I'm only telling you say the message is even better with the people. Nti I am very grateful to meko baby a say na omanfo no je me fe so na wonu mpo omunya better feedback esen mi ankasa. And that is why I don't joke with this platform. Udu baby a me call for more me constituency and say omutu kwan free constituency ni momko baby a they are very proud of me. What you say? And so very very positive on the ground. Utimu say oh ya manyo some da bia no objectively so unya nkrofo maso da for mo a ombeka omreyo eno ahoden a kire. So anye sa na wa unu hu na usre a ukotogota ni mu a hu. But objectively, I'm telling you, in me, the complacency in politics, I don't mean be anyone make us say about to better be any. Not until say my means as well as wedding kunim no me relax it. But I can confidently tell you, say, I'm very grateful to my people and grounds only are very, very good.
The 7th November, who will win?
Oh, say Yame, anything he to him kwa dia. Me GD say enter say yentu saba we primaries na inquiry no. Nan kunu di I media ni biabo so fo nyina. Yo,
enti kwamra minta kando say November 7th the NDC primaries na ba so no. Say Yame de see hini no tu hini a. Yame be sense hini biom. O say wo nso amu a onipa bone watena se. Dabi me na asem. Okay, o kan
Daddy na see the good young man. See the good osuro mi no.
Kwapim South in Russia be chani. Obi akwa ba.
Me afi
watch it.
So me am etio. Etio ne unsem tintin.
But me yanko Heritage Foundation. Na na do Kufuado say there's enough grounds for rigging of the 2016 elections. Now, voter register, the West should not sit down and wait and turn around and ask, how did we allow this to happen? Yanko Heritage Foundation in the USA, Yanko and Adom.
We have presented evidence of tens of thousands of cross-border registration of non-nationals on the register to the Electoral Commission. For a country where a margin of 40,000 votes can determine who wins an election, having a register bloated by over 2 million votes, 2 million names, is totally unacceptable. 3 out of the 5 main political parties have called for a new register. Our 2 living former heads of state, both President Jerry John Rawlings and President John Agyekum Kufuor, several important civil society organizations, religious leaders such as imams, the Christian Council, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, and others have also spoken out in favor of a changed register. On September 16th, a civil society organization, Let My Vote Count, took to the streets in demonstration for a new credible register. Much to everyone's shock, the peaceful demonstration turned bloody when police brutalized the unarmed demonstrators. This type of violence is a troubling occurrence in Ghana. Ghana has worked incredibly hard to preserve her democratic character. One administration shouldn't be allowed to undermine it. And at times, this requires putting the good of the country above partisan interests. In 2012, as you may recall, Ghana was on the knife's edge as a result of the Supreme Court ruling 5-4, rejecting the opposition challenge of the presidential election result. As the leader of the opposition, I decided that the interest of peace and stability required that my supporters and I accept the disputed verdict to prevent any possible turmoil. The hope is that the global community takes notice and urges change before the election, rather than looking back at the 2016 election, shaking their heads saying, how did this happen? We are telling you exactly how it's going to happen. All the pieces are in place for a rigged election. As Africans, we have witnessed election-related violence tear countries apart. We know what we risk should these problems not be addressed.
It's of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, or the Heritage Foundation, or US of A, and I'll say the land is fertile for a rigged election 2016 because voter register in your papa. Dr. Ram, for example, say MPP for argument, sabi a lazy and hollow. Any grounds? I'm just saying free also. Now, Sasa me and Koma, you do Komobia, but a bria no, and one quaffle for a bar, one quaffle for a bar. A business academicians that shall say, more punchy holes or argument now, more day say, as I say, a voter register for fraud. They are not to turn another Danko Akufo-Addo, they will say, voter register and your papa and grounds so no is prepared for a rigged election. Is MPP really prepared for election 2016?
You kaba. That's na yedika mechia. Omo mo share any chief nyina.
Omo joso.
Na mechia me nia o he ano. So let's see where we no ato no abetra ha.
Owie o.
Omo
de any 7 November.
So I relax it because me share. Ni nuanom bia omo share sisi omo. Mpanyimfo no nyina o. Oti eminim so nim nipa eto aba no ho a.
Omo nim say free for all say you know.
Aba na kwakoto a unim nipa kwakoto aba.
Omo nim delegates do do abeto.
Omo nim nipa kwakoto aba.
Omo nim.
Register na babontin.
Oh, the register is the one we
a chamber shall say is
the nipa say na
to about constituency.
For now, no, me person HISBT and sana.
But you have the register.
Candidate. Officially, almost you shall say you fan
to candidate 7 November. Yeah, you got to about. And yes, I
invite all the aspirants region by region.
We are so.
At the Akotu name register.
But if the register is ready, our elections 7 November or 20 years. Delegates will send it to about.
I know, but I only tell you.
But don't no, a secret.
Oh, yeah, register. Really? That boy can't say. You may be able to start here. Yeah, oh, patch. Ubi so far, baby was nipa 20,000 baby was nipa 30,000. About baby, me call me coding come say. So they all could have share.
Not only Calio.
Nipa 12,000 I just told to me.
But you see, even I look at your final. Yes, we should be the Biaka home, it may be free.
I want to be a count free.
Oh, there are a lot of a year. I say the only way and somebody register and they buy. No, the booklet on the register and also account at the buy. In the exhibition area, it be back.
Nani dini
no card no.
So nani
dini.
But the system no nani dini.
Ha. Na e naka ho. And also say yenuanom say obi we ko obi abato mpasiasi. Na ko NDC register ma na obi amu anso di o.
Ah, na also register so NDC ni.
That so obi abu so.
No me the first place no me na flood. Must biometric registration.
Na kwa na so na mo produce because maybe say this one be also mo ya take omo biodata bia
nti e dey na ba
me bisa obi ma me e be 2012 elections so no say electoral commission are more copies of the
doesn't make it biometric.
No, but your biodata has already been taken.
By who?
By Mr. says, yeah, man, data need
the fingerprints now. Electoral commission for taking. I don't know much now, so they are printing my ID cards.
Chief.
And I'm or how the Abazi card.
How did you get their
fingerprints?
Massa, Emra, you have 2012 elections. You see, MOBIA, political party, they can even
register.
No?
Yes, but no fingerprints register.
But that, Omar take fingerprints, Omar arrive at that particular data. No? You understand? And so we can confidently extract the members of the party from it.
We are my friend biometric.
But class now and biometric, because you until you take the biodata, fingerprints, any eye, anyway, you know. Do you have access to your EC database?
Me tell the make auntie. Bisa
electronic.
Before someone arrive at that particular then
because most start here.
I'm taking biometric biodata of everybody. This is a biometric registration exercise. And it is a multimedia. Don't come and throw any
card. Voter ID card. Voter ID card. No free.
Yama nice topic.
Register one.
And this register.
Mo ya ba ko e bi se atwam MP ni ba ko se asem be si no NDC ni o se asem be si
NDC ni
munnim o se me mo NDC se MP
aboni
o ye city MP
o ye constituency ben
me ntra ho na me tiwa na go for the buses e ba se o mo ye NDC fo mba be to aba de atumi and asem a be si no mo MP kura e bo de kura de ja hwe o ka che me se krom ha
obi ama topic. Yes, no, Nado.
So I was wishing you were in a Zanzibar.
Where? Where you well, Obi as we miss no, and you wishing me well. No.
Now, everybody easy as some no. I don't pay every BBC as scientists. Or might me discover crocodile species be a. Won't make us so mad dahate. There's no money back when be. What done? No, any back when be or they share predators. It is so. They say, Sana any omote. They say, Madam, so many back. Any back. See a dark cry, yes, ya dark cry, any back maybe. I sit here and say it on authority, say, I don't trust the Electoral Commission. Hey, I want you to quote me anywhere.
You don't trust Ghana's Electoral Commission?
I don't trust Ghana's Electoral Commission.
They ran elections for you in 2000.
Yes. So I have...
You won. In 2004, they ran elections, you won.
Probably
at the time, now trust
probably I could have won bigger. Even in my constituency, I have data to show that things did not go
well. Ran elections, Papim South, Mawo, MP. Don't trust you.
I don't trust the Electoral Commission. I'm saying, I'm online.
Ebeba.
It's about my background. I saw my background here. It will be reported.
Oh, Ebeba.
A year ago, we special edition of Ghana Law Report only on 2013 election petition. Now, what kind? They be American biano. Now,
now you must show.
Now, a state institution, a bomb hooker. A few mobile parliament special budget almost 1.3 billion, 1.7 billion in for more. Some fanquay elections, registration elections for next year. In Sube, you know, no, my baby are troca. To the sense, he said, every day I read this, including the majority of 5 against the minority of 4, 5-4 panel. Every day I read this. No, I see Ghana for a global need. Yeah, here, elections a year in 2012, Biara, and Sani Bay elections. Look, in 2012, as late as September, end of September, after no easy for ACI, I had the elections.
Say, you Kai.
Mukra media from Bodamunim say,
oh, my baby, Sass, oh, my year from
let is November. Now, if you make a law, now the average person is even ignorant of the law. That's the first problem we have. As late as October, November, he decided to say he created new constituencies in this country. Now it's about 7 December. Short of saying, say, a background, a giant to Monfano. You have to go and do the elections under these conditions. Now, so long as EC call Supreme Court, Kobiomano can say discrepancy between the presidential register and parliamentary register, no, 241,000. Ghanaians registered abroad. That's 700 per. They need to convince me. 241,000 are fine. Besine, yes. Have they been able to convince you? Have they been able to convince you? And if you haven't convinced me, why should I trust you? So I call register. Yeah, mosque, I bought hookah. Now I call register. Oh, you're not 241,000. Besine won't be cheap, baby.
But if I just saw one to about.
One to about means what?
They were on the register, yes, but
how do I know? Yes, yeah, biometric. Yes, yeah, biometric.
He said that at the Supreme Court.
Yes, yeah, biometric. Obiwo, Claude Cote, Obiwo constituency, Obiwo constituency. Okodu on the yeah, yes, you need verify. Yamananto. Now, baby, so there. There are several instances. Form now, a Supreme Court now. Almost say a mistake. Almost share that. Almost share that part of me as a form. Say, column, the allegation. I don't know. I'm coming to prove it. I'm coming to prove it. Now, that's it. So the America. Who could design a form? And in one column, no, my indicator said, "Oh, be our half a biometric and to be ano. Won't draw. Who design a form? I'm will be a copy of the form. Yes, now I see no verification, no voter. And then I'll create this column. Oh, I'm poor. And come November, 2 weeks to elections, Dr. Frejan, or your IPAC meeting. IPAC meeting, or yeah, so be justified, say, so be a money and verify to me too. Yes, hey. What me to say? This is the CI why the parliament. Or this CI no grandma yen ye, CI no why yen ye.
Na CI no na prepare.
You did a chance here. I say into who person gas will be banner verify no to me too. And they say loan and yellow papa. They say you know your loan. And then the boss one. We no bear press conference said no verification, no vote. Me we are no more design form now. I was to say one verify to me too. And we have evidence to show that there are several places people don't verify a man too, yeah. Who do the Supreme Court? All the pinches not failing is not failing. If that's how they're now failing is what's the go on the ground now anti ADNC. How are you going to convince me? How are you going to convince me? Say, I will say, oh my training almost failing from anti ADNC no, failing, column, for I am verified almost to be two, yeah.
And there will be some more agents for.
That is what I don't even want to hear.
Why?
With all due respect.
And you cannot interfere in the electoral process.
We are saying, where is it stated to say? So be your agent. He's in a parmonian and you might if say you no agent. Where? Anka ye hu ye ni papa hu a. Uko to aba.
But ye dey send okay na say na tie na anya ni papa mu no a. Your agent should have insisted said the right thing was done.
Look, agent fan enough for me. Agent fan. Ye ni this in kwan for agents. Ye ni this in kwan. Say we bet many agent to say so almost buying kitty police stations we got 30,000. We for 2, 3, 4. Ye ni we kwan to me here. The other parties in there they don't exist. Other parties they don't exist. E papa mu a anka why am adwuma say ye no. Ukoya adwuma no fenchim whether agent or no agent. They be around their share. There's two things on their share here. Vigilance and go to court. And I go to court to say I real to we can be chiro say also I go to court. What we say na court today. You see no excuse is vigilance. Vigilance in any day. Say mama adwuma say na onye ni say vigilance. What I say? It's at the end of the day, no. Every day I read this, no. I'm convinced to say Electoral Commission in the Omupomumpu. Now, voter register as my career to you. You make can be actually you say voter register. Pinch it. No more here on the ground. They be around there say non-permanent staff. Permanent staff will be pa. Permanent staff will be pa. Now we are going to pursue this every day. And this I say at the end of the day, no. Me then say they say that we are just to register na solution, no.
And a problem. Say let's say no anase in cleaning.
In cleaning anase. Yes, sano. That will be cancel. You say is how now the bay now actually for fra. And I'm serious analogy the crowd there. Too elementary. Me mobile phone. I had a mobile phone. Data ben and I'm sure was I had stored all the data in the world. And I phone you free from pine. And you mean I crack it. I figure we should grab me one free. I'm saying I phone where I don't want to lose this phone. I'm so to me come here to repair. Me call ya. I'm so you to repair. You change screen. No, no mum. Ne boni. It was one factor. It also be there's no guarantee that data in I bet me restore. It also be I will have access to all that you have on your phone. I'm saying Enka. I'd rather buy a new phone than get it repaired. And this is our option. But the end then say. They say you know I just to register on some money. They say you see me can train. Yeah, they say they ask my mom. My bia. You me can train. They say option then. You see casa you. You need somebody to somebody for
any 29th no more kwa ede.
Oh, you quite say. Some say my baba. I dey see so much na. It's so much. We don't na casa mom. You quite pack crash out to say in this munya careful na in casa mo spokesperson. Okay, I want anybody to deny it. Really? Okay, I want anybody to deny it. Says Charlotte and Gaza. We have appointed you as our spokespersons. Okay, until you try one so Mumra, no mamma, Moya, semi the accord. They be on there so to go and Moka to go. I did require no copy of my issue. A be including the 241,000 to me and sign. Including voter population, Ghana population. A bidum fee so but you know be aso no I can say population here 25 million. Na 90% are registered na day. Forget is every population 25 million no. Anyo mnya na Ghana for. Yeah census ah. Enye wa Ghana ni kwa na census so
be all within the boundary be I kind.
Fine. Until we argument to cry a flood from the beginning. But me didn't hear me say, come whatever data is ready. I'm from Moyamra. I'm the Moyabanum Case, audit to a new register, ringing a TV. No, that you know, cleaning, no one chair, crying on the first one, cleaning. That's number one. Number two, Dr. Jampo. It is all cast of radio, so my man could be not share, my classy. It is all cast of radio, so I may miss me frey, and I'm no. Let me say, for all due respect, one, oh no, is the way I a consultant for EC. You are not talking as an independent person. You are talking on behalf of EC.
Maybe also on Kasama Electoral.
On Kasama Electoral Commission.
And rather make me so many Kasama say he spoke in his capacity as a senior lecturer.
And you should have given that disclaimer.
Oh no, kind.
You should have given that disclaimer at the lecture. Your core number one. Number two, sometimes these practitioners, these are theorists in lectures, they behave as if they are better than we, the practitioners. Me have gone through lessons several times. Or to the lecture room or lecture. That is what BBS here. Who can register? Basically, say if you lost nimu, your time also my provisional register after registering. Your time also my provisional register. Time grand is in this. Sorry, is in the so. Me do certified register nankasa. Or tell us my engineer go have 1 week to elections.
Ansanawa.
Yes, I the amount. The amount is if CD Romo said, then, Beginning in a Rebana, they are 2 years. Answer now, bet me. Achichemu Kuadama constituency piano, no election cry here. We. It's you to honor who can say exhibition. I don't count yes yet. Exhibition, come on, exhibition, your manual. Manual and an exhibition here, Juma. Says here, biometric abano. There are instances, will be registered or inchy. Within the 10-day registration period, or somebody register or agree. Exhibition, because of exhibition, Jenny Panoti database nechi, no, I did duplication. And so, who I did duplication, Sabi, yea, apart from the register, don't find my terminal. Yea, any facility in a duplication. No. Any facility, no. You don't come and tell me, say, exhibition should be able to expose all those who have done multiple registration or whatever. Yes, so I can go on Tiasia. What Tiasia and Gaon can't say, we dwell so much on exhibition. We are not some cancer. Political parties not a say register, no. We are not some general complaining. What you telling me? Political parties not a say register, no. What you order a lecture? Na who market script? Na problems bar. The students na a lecturer. Ya ma isi you so nya. No kono anjini ya. There are situations that me for be say on no continue computer na computer go ni mo operate. Nsi ya
easy official.
Easy. Computer na ni operate no akofa SCF so mo go training o. SCF kwa o mind be na nipa na continue so registration. We are be catch and say yeah they say register they we are complaining. What business is that? And with all due respect, if he wants to jump into this, we are ready for him. I respect him a lot. I've engaged him several times. But you're funny there. When you're careful, I didn't be afraid of your back of tunnel. I heard you know students are there crying because understand what you want to talk about before you talk about it. With all due respect, I'm expecting him to have read this before even making this kind of statement. I'm expecting him to have read this. No, Sanko kind. A petitioner, the choir, submission, the choir, my easy. No, Uncle Kind.
Well, but sir,
I'm ready for him.
Sir, verdict of the Supreme Court, and if it's anything to go by, name petition, you know, I didn't fly in court.
No,
I'm flying in court.
The fact is, say, at the end of the day, no, court now can say, yeah, okay, you know, I evaluate. They move 5.
Majority decided.
They move 5. I can say, you mean can say, abandon and to you, and I mean can say, your mama, you know, doesn't mean it's say. In their findings, you know, they didn't make very far-reaching statements. I can pick some of them and read them for you here. I can read just a dinner whole majority side. When she was making her submissions, 241,000 I say registered abroad. Okay, I say it's for 700 people to be by. And what do I need to say? Say because it was 540, I shouldn't look at that aspect of it. Okay, Justice Dochi made very far-reaching statements on reforms and some of the register and the way we've gone about it. I can mention all of them. As I could do 1 year, more majority side crack so easy. You might the moon say bibia. register no my problems be baba on can be Ghana there can be eco fine am when you am we na enso any in spite of that int me na we so enka say abane entorfufu na say yen dane ma na do doesn't mean say ne course nyina na enya no ana so akwa mfia kodi asem ne aka ni nyina oh sa na ye oni papa oni obi yiri ko die also na me jitum so makọ pattern ama waje atum okay na yɛmfa nka ho bio na no je say mami nka de bia say oni obi yiri ada what are we saying
Ebrasa say ye jinkrato no wache abo efri yabo afọ ye ba kwabra mita kando ebe kire na semu na yetie ye ba sisia Mwakwa Biometric Badwam Adom TV and I gusa I didn't come with the bro. About to home come up and you gusa area bro. Answer the Electoral or sable Zamwa at church in Simua. And yeah, I said, when this is about to know, and ya home goes to say, send ye be a binum. Come on now, so I know ya chat. Mammy,
Medasi Bibri, Dedicam, I'm a chairman. Now I'm chair, I reform here in Nanopai. To start with, or make a statement, be said. I'm Charlotte. I'm a meeting. Can say
IPAC meeting.
Yes, for YC. So can say I can be in where you are, Papa.
Yeah, also okay.
Yeah, so can say please. What would you allow? Senior, with them so chairman, make up bullying your committee. Or can say made in where you are. The fact is, say, yeah, can some now my position. Anyway, dear coincide doesn't mean I'm your spokesperson. For example, young class of 4 or more money. Sometimes, especially on this register issue, the fact is almost all the position coincide with the MPP for them doesn't mean as of for MPP for spokespersons. It doesn't mean that. And don't forget, say NDC a bigger stakeholder as far as this brouhaha is concerned. Nti say ya kaya someone na so mufu say no more position taking similar na say coincide.
If you want to take position.
And so why do you say so in the first place I thank you very much.
But I say can't say minute ya o mo na mo na mo be ya no ama o mo.
You see I see you say NDC for yen ka ho alien be if you Mali and ye can a electoral commissioner somewhere Ghana na ye dia no betum. Why I catch us as okay electoral commission who feel say bibi chia na so me feel say tenia me dey mini ku kwa dey who kwa say ka say chia but me dey mini hu kwa say me ka say tenia
da bi ubeja o mo ano mo be yum say
why I can have eyes and I'm in the country and I can see
no
I'm not the fact is say me ka say doesn't mean say me ka man. That is what I see and that is my position. It doesn't mean say me ka man. What about me kwa makanisa no so odin ho no kwa be different thing. So it doesn't mean say yeah kasaman. More to the substantive issue. For me, humbly. And I do you be a watch or shaman or some say a chepa, not make catcher of a salmon or some adding pa. And so somebody like that, I wakum pass, I could do some revenue. I mean, I should respect him and all that. But you see, if you need another's defeat in any elections, man in campaign, man in Casabi, I am telling that Nana do not draw no. With a man no one kasa enkasa bebree the more o kasa no ye compare tio no kasa no Nana do not drown no you see I'm telling you say 2016 you be reggae elections you know o kasa percebi you don't even need to go to class 1 you are preparing the stage for a defeat up initio you are just preparing the stage for a defeat say obi 1 clear year into an election, and you can see, say, and I'm not surprised because at this point in
time, you say, and yet the day of the election, independent, a process I setting in. And by the time I do 7
in any case, we have not set any process in place. A register near the court about 2012 and I know there exists a ADBT. That is what exists today, an ADBT. So we have not set any process in place. You see, Sam Raya Ekoyano, his excellency John Dramani, the tempo nako very high. Intino a Daisy MPP for no. I got high because development a who do a yet shen or maimu any the enthusiasm. Come on, maybe
development.
But obi a sing. The argument, you know, me and I person meet here because look, whether you like it or not, you know, I campaign, I politics, development in the campaign. A baby, a bands of baby, but me quite catch that me man for say, look, Monto Abama, and me buy Yassin will be. We Omaimu and an MPP for more power. No, mount to very big screens all over Ghana, then Ghana today, near the other day. They were showing the difference, isn't it? In the place with the greatest deal of respect, you know. I am saying, says, I will share in my constituency alone. In my constituency, me for baby answer example. Yakupon Adom, na akwanya hodua. He says, John Dramani, Mama Bresso, ye kota o hono. Yami Adom ye via, a baby anywa bao man swa. Why ye a crime? I want me constituency as Saint John, he says, John Dramani Mahamada. And in your Hong Kong, all over the country, development upon development. And now, the Nadun say, answer the Beko elections in Biano, or Manfono, in so more the Koto about a development. Indeed, the MPP themselves, no, Omoko behind the scene now, Omokachi almost said, look, we share the way I'm conforming flashy development all over, even including our stronghold Ashanti region now. There was somebody. And until let's throw in this one. Say, look, they are preparing to rig the elections. They say, they can Canada. Quite apart from that, me who the entire year so be also Nado, a cast same way, will be a campaign we're going on a campaign. I was a cast same way. In my humble opinion, one can say, humbly, one can say, in any case, there's a debate about the register. Well, me media make and me GD, obi dia oka wa GD. At the end of the day, yen nyina be nyan puma sibre. Yen nyan nuru ho. Oh. Inti untimi mfa we nko e basis a media chinchini atwan. So me media na make no, ya nya amame a. It means that they correct elections no. So, obi analysis oye no ha nyina no. In fact, about 90% of it doesn't even affect the register. 90. Let me yes, please. Me say about 90, but doesn't mean say be anywhere air affected. Please. Okay, about the form. So be ya verify now. What they feel and he made the point. He said, look, you see for the Bible until the car say you mistake and all that. How does this affect the register? It doesn't that's what I'm saying that you're okay and me can't say you affect register no. But listening to you, no, about 90%. Guidelines are before the elections, no, they never agree on. It has nothing to do with the register. Look, Obi Obeka no correct and Obi I respect him very, very, very much. The credentials in politics. And it's not as if say, Obi you understand the process. From deputy regional to regional, me a grassroots person. Ya dia me kotem baby obi ne ba be running mate and I say obi abefa baby say oh edu hand be fana could you. So if you are wholly involved in the process, what's the process na say? Obi can attest to the fact that register where I want. It is one of the best we have ever had in this country. Wow. I am not saying it is perfect.
Why you put your words in my mouth?
But I know if the Obi I know, you should be able to attest to this fact. Say I am not saying it is a what do you call it a perfect.
But at least from 92
exactly.
to date, you know,
that's the point I'm making.
It is the best.
It is the best we have had so far. So what I say. Now, if there is a problem, I see. So now can see in our plan was say, and you see, there's a very dangerous precedent. Yes, setting. So maybe a year elections in Biano, we necessarily will have to go for a new register. And
what is wrong with that?
What is wrong with it is because it means we can't get a single one correct. And maybe a new one. What's the argument we put forward? Credible register. Credible register. Is that not the argument we put forward? So the last one, we said credible register. We now have this one. We are now shouting on that credible register. What shows that the evidence is credible? What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee? You understand? So what's in name and and even that debate here, before very simple. Look, we have the evidence. So when the question say when the womb, any idea. So we have the evidence. Why? So this evidence can help us clean the register. If that is the if
it is substantial enough to cause the credibility into crisis. Into you know to say
whether it is substantial or it is not substantial. What is important here is that if they so believe in their evidence, it means that there will be a bit take it out of it wholly. And you see, more evidence you come with the Ababontin. Omako, a specific part of the country, NDC stronghold.
Everywhere.
On and I challenge him. On my names, the pictures are more from a Volta region. No, I'm repeating the same thing because I said border, I said boundary with La Côte d'Ivoire in my constituency. One from my constituency. So I just said, let's attack their stronghold. Near a month who said, oh, MPP for NDC for stronghold in the crown, Nipa and Hope the Brace are no more important amount for Togo number 2 abano. That is the impression they are creating. That is the impression they are creating because over my constituency, I said, I'm not a catcher. There are Ghanaians, our mote La Côte d'Ivoire. Ghanaians. Because say distance and end will be no, and Electoral they come and vote. There are Ivorians who are in Ghana. Maybe almost they go and vote. And you see, so when see Ghanaian be no card is a zoo and not card the entire. That doesn't mean say on your Ghana new. So a document be a permitting a money stay La Côte d'Ivoire. That doesn't mean say on your Ghana new. So for me, humbly, let me feel say the MPP will put their house together and bring a better campaign message.
And we almost say campaign message.
Oh,
because if by 29th of this month, so Muko share is in after stakeholder conference, he say okay, we'll do a new register or we'll not do a new register. How does that amount to a campaign message? Is that what Ghanaians are going to vote on a register?
I am only advising them, say, as far as Omuwo position, they say no to me. What they should do is that first and foremost, they should put their house together, and then Omunfa message here because now, as I speak to you now, what is the message? Every MPP needs
to campaign.
Oh, I to buy a flag bearer because you need campaign message. There's any
message.
Everybody ask for
changing life, transforming Ghana.
You can even pardon us because you have even not elected flag bearer in the first place.
Changing life, transforming Ghana.
Everybody said no point there campaign message.
Ghana transforming
this strategy will not work, please.
What strategy? This strategy. Give me question now.
I tell you, you
why is there? Maybe him Kwabra strategy. Go pay me the questions there. Pay me no. No start to attack you. Eti minimum da. Onu so say ase afa me ho. You me question na no. Mo campaign message in there. Changing life, transforming Ghana.
Oh, and of course.
Okay.
We are touching lives. We are changing lives. We are transforming Ghana.
Of
course. And we are not running away from it. It's SSC President Mahama. Ayo mampenya otu Ghana mpon. Oyo bia. Or presenting and now could do. I've advised my party people.
So
look, this man, the more he campaigns, the more he increases his party.
The money campaigning.
Yes, I have advised them.
Oh, okay. And what's the campaign? I say.
The more a man for a who you my pa, he says, no more with the personality, no more tin in the Numa Semono. The more Ghana for na do na omufuluno. So I have humbly advised my party, said this man, Ghana for Penasem, into beer, I want to have a feel of the man. So I said, that is the man we are talking about. Nakufado.
Arise and build.
Arise and build.
Is it rice and beans?
Rice and beans. What's up, every guy?
Wait, you don't say to more.
Master, as I said, you know it, please.
I know we are not discussing Sirin Ketia. Brava 7 so one and a half minutes to wrap up.
Superstar.
Almost Obi Canadian.
I can't 1 minute.
Rice and beans. Time, no.
Time media. Na mache de pepe. Mache de pepe. Since I can't 1 minute to wrap up.
The point is that register na ye one. Then you feel say, look, say bibi wo one e betu aye wo ho a. Nyina yambra together, but the best way out, yes, say, then register ni bia na mre bia. Obi nim ha, oti ha wonim say in his constituency, ka say ye register for fra. Ask him what he goes through. It's not easy to know.
Personal interest na adwen.
No personal. It's not about menko. Say menko na ka say personal interest. It's about problem in time kind of alone. then you say my personal interest. But it's about every political animal in this country. Everybody. Look, Obi Etsy Ebia Gaboso. Obese ko register wo Tamale. Look at what he goes through. So any simple sir, abra yet me aye bia bedu baby. Now at least if you say bibi wo most betimi aboa ye free one. Fine, why not? Let's take it away and let's proceed. It mean if you say preparatory stages na omoye no. They are moving from one door to the other, knocking at people's door to come and cry for them. No, will not watch. So what summer obesity. Now what summer what's it doesn't matter the number of people. About so what I say. So the issues are clear.
And now can Cote d'Ivoire some elections as NPP for any releases. I'll say Mr. Peter McMenu to lead delegation to Cote d'Ivoire elections. Mr. Peter McMenu, former NPP national chairman, honorary chairman of the Democratic Union of Africa, DUA, and vice chair of the International Democratic Union, IDU, will leave today for Cote d'Ivoire as an international observer to the upcoming Ivorian presidential elections slated for Sunday, October 25th, 2015. Mr. McMenu will lead the DUA delegation. This will be the first presidential elections after the bloody post-election violence of 2010. President Alassane Ouattara will stand for re-election against 10 candidates, including 2 women. 6 of the candidates are independent and 4 are sponsored by political parties. Cote d'Ivoire's economy has seen positive improvement and turnaround, and the security situation has largely improved. The elections open at 7 a.m. and closes at 5 p.m. Ivorians aged 18 and above with national identity and voters card are eligible to vote. The provisional electoral list has 6,300,158 voters with 22,000 polling stations. Could you vote for Tuaba? But you wrap up on this matter.
Well, Kando, I say you were your mama. I saw Casamo.
I say a man for any general.
Yeah, but me na pro oh boy. Person na obese opa shake. Shake ho. I mean ka say. This one am no opa in facho. Say me say mo hwe na party no angu no. Biometric akofa beto ye musi. Region by region, o ka chom say mo hwe yo no party ni egu. Number 2, they say I done spokesperson for PURC. I said to moon the PM Mutaya betu. The message you are no. Is it not justifying the increase in utilities? What's in the message? What's in the message? Oh,
Obama region. Don't create the impression say, that's
how the message.
And at what
point? Hey, what was the president message? What's the what does the president message in positive? And I'm a picture of about number of and you can't hear dinner or see a DB come on. Because if you ask you, this is all I know. And you don't know me well. I was here to committee because of legislation. I bet I can say, because the president will be no more. No more. No exposing you. Or exposing you. On can't and say, Yadi to ask on some guno. Yadi is just on some guno. Let me do it.
You have economy in Assam, you know.
Yes, the message you don't want. The reality is that you're registered. In February, it's for by their timetable. February, I best be registration.
Okay.
Aside they say, new register, new register. February, on limited registration.
Yeah.
By their own calendar.
Yeah.
The other register, a baby account. Now, say, Ben, you, you never see a casa on ye. That's number 1. Number 2, they should be able to account for the kind of work we expect them to do. In America, say, careful, younger a spokesperson for them, no. Because so much money and so any cry. And so any cry. Now, he can feel elections move, and I'll pay you 1 more year. You took Roman almost started here. Say by assembly elections. You could see say.
Or some FM.
Or some FM. You win a book. Yeah.
That's the part for Boka Bubuja.
You win that easy. I'm a Ghana for Boka Bubuja. You understand? It's say easy. You try omo. Omo mra say 29th to 30th today omo ready biano. Mumra mo me ano. Say inse be dan mo ni one by one. Anu year mo woni. The most you get to say I'm Paris and nya.
Na some why no enche.
Oh, say they can say ache. Omo you are buying time. Omo buy time I do stage bi am so. Time no santi. Ya edu ide. Omo yen for register na sa. And the government strategy ne say. Ya broke.
We need government strategies.
Obi ni strategy. Omo say ya broke.
Can you?
Sikani ho nti sikani ko fa wa hene dia register for floor.
I say some say bukra move say skaba me there.
Two. Ya na was say a Fred donor conference. Neka ede two donors enim say. Say new register car be boni. Na bia yan fa mu 30%. Mo mo yan na fa 70%. Donor conference go mo Fred. Three, easy on his own. No. Easy didn't mean donors was say. They don't deal directly with EC when it comes to major issues. It's the government who should lead the effort. The government is not interested. It's the bottom line. No? They've made up their mind. Say, register we are a bit more bomb on power. And also the
it's the MPP for the answer register now.
Oh,
Matis Antonia Cabo.
Oh, I know you're the personal
Star
opinion.
FM say, Yanchi
I know you're the personal opinion. Register no there. Register at the end of the day. It will never be the same.
To be fair to my brother, I'm saying
You will say that.
That's normal report.
It is a for sale. And the best knockout blow is say, yeah, I buy and see a broken tears. I ain't for 90 people for a game with the Omudiagro. Omudiagro say, Omu say, plan A, plan B, plan C, now. This is a plan A on for block. Your plan B, plan C. Yeah, I never come.
So, B plan C, now man for can say no credit. Dear one say, Omo Paquin be not Ashanti region, Omode.
I don't plan B.
And I can plan B interest, and you know
the work of plan B at every. What of plan B at every?
I bet to Jano. Yes, I register as to release. The entire not less as book in a base. It is a Ashanti region. Massa, and I'm complain being in how the plan B as and I'm complain. What the plan B as become? Deputy Minister, we are Deputy Minister. To me, now you need Deputy Minister. Who can be now at about 7 November? Because I year. That's what make a plan B no more.
So say, you be my
you see, my target say, in probably no more about our water region, the Brunei to go for. Drew a beer baby. I'm committing now. It's more dream on mine who and a CDR. They say, I buy bang now. I drink on my was saying, Sabine.
Say about most bogus government ever.
Obi made us a camera too.
Oh, yeah, winding up.
Wrap up just a minute.
Wrap up, look at me.
All right. Okay, text messages. I'll say if the voters' register is to be changed, the cost must be shared for the parties. Bongazi, Edifi Jakiti, Dumasa Jakiti, and I say all Ghanaians should call on the PURC to prepare to pressure government to pay the bill it owes before they increase the tariffs. Some from Brekum. Opposition MPP can only survive this 2016 election if they are serious of winning elections. I don't think the voter register is a problem. Nanado is the problem of the MPP. The council of the party, I'll say, Omunyi candidate for from now, Omidi MPP anymore. Nanado. Alaji Willie P from Ifekuma. This one says, Kaba, Madam EC boss, if you know you can't do the job, the earlier you quit, the better. Please resign. Nana Jabba Fiktechiman or their brain. Kaba, Ghana doesn't say Ghana don't learn about elections. Okay, you won't say we don't learn about elections. Cote d'Ivoire was in peace for 40 years, but because of elections, the country lost credibility. Ghana must be very careful. From Joe and Adi and Brian, I'll say, I want to ask the MPP man, Patronidini Obi Amwa, if what Dr. Jampo said was in their favor, would he have condemned him? What is good for the G's is equally good for the Ganda. Prosper and Adi and Brian, the MPP should stop saying everybody wants their register to be changed. Omo members in Kwa, there's no need. Felix in Kumasi, Did Akando talk on the issue on hand or the personality of President Mahama? He should give us a break and deal with the issue on the register. Eric from Nungwa here in Accra. I'm here emails so I'm out for Ede Abba quickly. Na Yantuaso we free Amani Michael in the UK or here live or Sekaba. What was Dr. Jampu talking about yesterday when you even interviewed him? I was really disappointed in a lot of argument regards to the voter register. Why should we just clean or audit a compromised register? Dr. Jampu, on the credibility or the better line is super. If all the hardcore evidence presented by Dr. Biometric and the MPP to the Electoral Commission about house scan photographs with staple pins was uploaded onto the voter register, and here seminar Dr. Jampu, the NDC must have had access to the database of the Electoral Commission. Can you say omo register members? Omunya database in every. Amani Michael from UK. Now dear no brain. What's any meals in the best of I'll say Kaba. Everything wrong about the voter register. Looking at the EC, the president's posture during the 2012 elections, all parties agreed with the EC that no verification, no vote. Yet foreigners were able to register and vote. Ghana, everyone is saying at the eve of the 2012 elections, the president himself, knowing what happened, declared that once your picture is found in the machine, you should be allowed to vote. The NDC knows very well they stand to gain from this 76,000 plus people. We need a new voter register. Afloxy, Edifri Bolga. Also, send emails in the best. Martin James says, good morning, Kaba. Let Honorable Akando and his NDC know that if they have nothing good to tell the people of Bia West District, they should shut up instead of trying to throw us into our eyes. Akando lied on the same platform that work is progressing on the benchmark barrier of Sekojo Road. And you know, we will teach them a better lesson in 2016. Ajima Bedu Sehi de Biso. And our dear Nobra, yes, I be our council more than you. And then this one says, please tell Akando that I admire him very much. He's my role model. Moreover, the person yet to saw no. And the papa tell him I need his number. Kwame from Dunkofing. And then this one says, Kaba, for as the body of the MPP is one and as many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so is the MPP. For by one spirit we are all baptized into one body, whether we are Northerners or Southerners. We are educated or uneducated, and all have been made to drink into the spirit of the MPP party. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, hey, message way there, and also power, Amos Hamo, former consensus secretary, priest, anybody, or message in the water door. Bible. And yeah, go to Bible. Come on, if indeed changing the voter register will bring peace to our dear nation, then so be it. Whether it is in yours to the MPP or the NDC, Kwache again. From Dunkwao and Ode and then special greetings to Nanado, Obi Amwa, and the entire Fantiakwa North constituency MPP members. Kaba, the new voter register is something every Ghanaian should reckon. We can't allow over 80,000 foreigners to come and choose who our president and our parliamentary members will be. Freeman, also here live from the United States of America. And then Kaba. Ya sambra bi dwamu bi mu na ya feel dodo bi dwamu maba nti ha me adwuma me san to asempa me adwuma ya ni nyina adwuma kro no awai this for someone trust and this for someone trust the EC should get the MPP to prove the whole process leading to the identification of foreigners in the register. The cost involved is higher for a new register. EC should not just accept paper evidence. Stand Odi free, okay, one chair baby out free and out there and okay. So by way of emails, you know, yene near Abba. But if I am quite anyway, na Ghana Sika 70 baby and an chrono. What could say one more am time Kakrasi in Triaka about 181 9 could $9.5 million. Still, they need further and better particulars. Say we are Dria, Omba Katia, Diano, near Katia, all the Tema Enclave. Thermal plants or gas if in Nigeria ban honey they come on as ugly will be down VRA plant will be down. Yeah, the Dumsono will be worse than it is today. Kwamna hane the car yentua.
Say the kind me who idea was the canvas topic in the first place. Asemwe aban etu delegation momoko Nigeria. Ekoshia omo no kasai. Na omo so tu delegation momo bae ebe shia omo panyin ne mpanyin for eno omo kasai. Sabe we asin wa yewe ninji ni se adwuma ku akakraka mo he momo neka. Sabe o mind say Ghana na se ye de o man bi ka the best thing to do is saying na na ya yen hye papa e de betuaka, and that has been done. So February there is nothing to talk about as far as this issue is
concerned. Here payments plan.
It is not true. Anybody who will say this, I don't know where you are getting this. It is
not true.
I don't know where you are getting this information from. But as far as as far as I am concerned, meaning say there's a payment plan up to February, and abayin so agya to say e ka bi o bia no abayin betua no ma continue a supply your gas and e be ya inem nsem no e betumi agya ne nan so. For me, there's no news about this.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no news about it.
About me that's it.
As some see is the most embarrassing, disgraceful event in this country. In the first place, Yempo, Abaya was senior so on Ghana so my Abai Atraho Ama company Abaya press conference the
Omuka.
Wofanono oto ntuaka ese ni akodu the mamu midnight ma amfa sika bia ama gas supply na ma mfa mamu biu the first minister also onim ho hwe nso minister o ya say that creative ministry amount say you are in charge of power do stage because I say the president spokesman unko bisa menim ho hwe ade ifo vira fo yo ma dia me fa ho bai Adichi I see minister lead delegation the akọ. Now ankoyesa e electricity via omunya supply. How can a government run this country this way? A buyer so this is assurance go for so omo de ho chain. Omo be kan kra omo kan kura nyina e wo mo. O ya tua bi nti say e ka no ya teso bra wonu say de sharp de ya na tua. Bukotia says 9.5. Who the cover 80 million? See, supply, guys supply, you block one. So my good to everything is okay. Uncle Former say 9.5 no meet you. 9.5 no maybe Tiano Crano. Or Munche, quite on Befaso meet you a canal down. The moment up to February, yes, sir. Him, the best block, gas, the moon be. You, sir, doom so plan who said your presidency, about Uncle Baba Yama. As a Moira. Now, if you have a government which runs a country this way, not so for 4 more years, no, 12 years, our buying so kruma. The reality is that the government is broke. Omukwa amano some go pesike. Interest is hunka kana that's no. Ebi sida. Ebi no mji om there 0.5 ne 0.1 no dey nam 10.75. Angola haya Angola kwa say mom 8 Angola si manenka we sika de be abane ba my man say o start bio so ogigi bond o Ghana ha be raise 1.5 billion ka ho meanwhile era se tekpese si ye bi edu no ya sorry IMF be mini ye show IMF say ye so betima ye IMF so say ka wo di ko no what do hipic mu na say no ye dan ye ma hipic. The reality is that the government is broke. Dear no motuitia. Menene tia bisa no. E ka say na ban end no. Obeka no kra
as an MP.
As an MP. Obeka no kra ka say na ban end no. No omuko akoye primacy. Onya kwa na ban tia bi ama no. E bi on e ho ato no. Ba minimum MPs bebre a. Omu yanka ombeso omu ombeko tetepo finance. Say yesu ya ba tia e ka. Say na admu for ni nurses ni teachers ni nya ye. MPs no kwa ban de e ka. This is a government which has run down the economy so much, sir. With the budget, this is salaries and wages in Guam. The culture was 2015. The car begging in answer the Bashar mine soon. Buhua Kunta, about 90% salaries and wages. Goods and services, 5%. a bit the Ministry of Local Government. Sika edife local government. Sector B or her 85% no donor driven. The donors are mema na ministry ni hange. Uko educational, converts. Yani si encourage vocational training ne kaka ho. Ubekona over 90%. I was say donors na deba. This government has shown say they can run anything. Na adena say me bosume so a na mi tweti am ho ka. Na masan yi sika say mfanko to prepaid. Because man to prepaid na adechi ameda sun. The kanya no be bakra. Na was say me sampe sika me de be line up gallons a. Edum kanya say 1 gallon be me hwe gu generator ma. Me mat me de hia de. Na bosume bia me tiama ECG for. Mama service, mama service. Me tiama omo. Na buying all this $500 million. Now because of Wunti, yes, I'm going increase tariffs in Sentia. Who ya catch them say the cofa concessionaire now about 5 ECG and everybody. Is that how to run a country? They can't see it to ADB in time. Because I'm most on the D anymore. They pack a bonnet. So I'm hey, me Professor Pada. This is the Bamana a kid, a luta money. Ghanaians are capable of running their own business, running their own companies. Any somewhere could be a mountain. To the extent to say, you can't see any oil, no more see oil. So, and a block way back, na block way back, and the air gas, I did 800 million, only do 1.2 billion. Say, Omar could be a more cry, eh? More. More ekra.
Benku more.
Ekra free hifa. Bisa omko de wa. Oh, how? And now make more as no say more nko. Say kusia, me mbufubi omo egg business. Containers, crates, omo fi Cote d'Ivoire ba. Nam si die ewie ni.
Na kusia odoma in crocracy ye ni wie.
Ewie ni. And rank blue skies. Omo say mangoes ni pineapple e di Brazil na eba. And but say Ibiana local capacity to mean local capacity. The reality is that all you can buy ya great crowd ama a broke cry a bit ya moreno. Chair ko krada o mamba ni etimu. E ko kan se enka o magukuru no. O man dey say Saturday o man ya NDC for 4 years there. And Ghana nya enfa yesengu ye. Ti se go for e be 12 years. Ni etimu yi. Nya dey na ba sisa. And now, I October 2015, now say Attorney General to be amendment of Parliament. I can say about 7 November. I can't just have finished to about
1 year, Pepe.
1 year. Dear, the best of Memu has said, but more will be. Then a best. Maybe answer because I can't down Kwana across my form. Who could you bond you ask you 15 years? Antonio Munflowy. Musumi Biana, Fibia, Skybetiano. And I'm going to crank and pay as interest. They say interest, I tell you, Bussiane, a kaya de hono. I don't see wage bill. I don't see wage bill. The at the end of the day, no, when it there, Cacrebio is a tip of the iceberg. A Canada mobile, man come about talk. They say Torno, Moon new be around it talk.
Oh, I'm acting director. I mean, what I'm acting.
I'm the boss, like I know. Or boss or talk. There's a moon in Nipa. And now, what be a kind of BDCC? I'm about an exchange losses near Beji, exchange losses near Beji. They say, Mama, private people. I know somebody in a bank was who didn't go for your business. I'm saying, I said, they were a man for making Sika when you don't have any idea. Turn around, boom, and here's when you want to ask for your bra. About all the boom, boom, exchange losses, missing government mean to me. Now, if you run an economy this way, energy sector, a sector, utilities will be out. How are you going to make sure say, this country survives? A car, and it was a bon quadia, a busapin in to be debut. Say, me, can you see me? I said, my time now, so what's the topic here? Who is here? Mr. Speaker, you have not got my what's the topic here? Who is here?
Wait, the topic wasn't okay.
Let me talk about
I'm so let me also go there. I thought that there was like a way. I don't know that blue sky.
It's where the tip of the iceberg.
But just 2 minutes to wrap up. Would for you tag the account because it's Kasem Kruya. Book and research allowance.
In 20 a year, Sabi and say about this will be a muyan.
I don't want to transfer.
Obi a muyan.
Obi Sadi, Penyaman program will make a your programs are coming in. There will be a noise and person all together today.
Yet, Tikroma, a movie in Yamawa University. And a movie in Yamawa University. Home be a schooner and Maria Museum say, hey, I see you tag for us or Makamuhuna on book allowance. Omano and Sika buys you, then. Ya people be here. Yeah, that's if you are your musica. August as a move. Bessine. Ya tram and Kofoya answer say. Ya Yedini Ashemu, Manfadi Ama, and then Kolana school. Ya chairman and Kolana go school. At your fees. At your Sika for Geneta, Quadrata, Emma. And only go on. I said, I also be also him.
Minimum.
Why?
Nebano.
Onoba. And I'm
invested.
And here, Benny here.
Obama is drink.
Here, Benny here. But on the school in Samasco. Oh, yeah, now
generators in Yamai. I see.
It's a Trahoma ministers. I beg John Kujeto. They lectures in Caron, medium who are pa. As you can be ready. Minimum lectures for her. Omodo when you have to say case for more research. A bebane, a bebachina. Can it be new? Near that, the woman, as you say, somebody when him said, and Jamu, Moyena, Yakanamontia, a big general. Does he speak well of this country? Has it come to this?
Yeah.
Has it come to this?
Please, where we have.
Has it come to this?
Obi, where you time no aso. Kabranka Saminti.
Did he can access us some way. Manka.
I don't know you.
In your debate for his information. A buying any uncle fire and she say, I'd say a quanya on befa so betray on Maka.
Then a walk for
with a greater zero
money payment plan.
A buying beer or war may mono, and I say a buying beer and I say obi biano. The facts I would do, we cannot bet you a quanya befa so I will be training interest a move papa. And I am surprised to hear it from a whole obi. Say, we are buying now donor funding be and so we are donors be and as we are grant be and now kobobosia it means say wa mamoni nko ye ni wagu mine. You see that be make catch you no member before say so mu kasa and one kai kakra say they have been in government for 8 good years. 8 good years. Now aben bia in every part of the world. Obi. And a part, you are surprising me.
Yeah. Be ready for surprises.
Abembia, sources of funding in your country. Number one, apart from what taxes, natural resources are war, Maimuno. Aye, Bossiabo. Bossiabo, borrowing. Aye, the enemy be brief. You see, the most important thing I was saying, no, they turn a blind eye to in the say. So, look about Bossiana, so, this can I say, a grant loan. So yeah, dear no. A dear would this cano baba yeno. And in here. And this way I buy buying be a what to me muna of a higher coin of a higher coin of a higher Greek substations of a higher way of a higher school are dying near the idea. And no the child say I buy no yenny my papa. Now back to near my important idea. So back crying some more. I buy even to the portrait industry now no can one some. A buy a modern bar bought in even to be specific in the portrait industry. No, a become a buy or buy or near show. Even today, so person will craft portrait products. If you are manonia, there is a policy say I will say we'll to a specific quantity from the country. Now producing receipt and some ya catch us say I know who can say we'll craft manonia. It's a clear policy in this country. Abayin bia even poultry industry no was so about for ase mamutimi etretre wonu machine e wo man mu. Abayin bia even if you go to a rice industry or ye a baby out to me a tract of land. No, I irrigate it. I want you be a capre or some munia mo, I mean, some was in a munia. And on tea, so what you want buy no before so when you say moral rights, no, I become the beer of a mamuno. This I must say, Monsieur, dear mandate in my I didn't to me. Aso, they are buying ye, and they may me ye, you know. Dear he and a conany. For me, clearly, no, I buy it, and I don't expect you, Obia moi, so Babetra. Now, I'm buying some of my buying, I idea because almost a person amount you could about to me. But me can say Ghana done paradise. Me can say the opinion no. But comparatively, no. So the one buying na party na one person buying no. Edi to yen ye de no ho a Ghana for the catch us say munya end for mu o man papa. How you tag? Media information I me watch say aban ni o matrase. Do sa level way.
Da ben.
Aban ni o matrase.
And o matrase da ben.
Do sa level so mbeko strike no. Now you see we are abanya. That's even Jumayephobia GBB everywhere. The problem is not about say we this kind of no. It's about the precedent you set all over. In the answer na take a decision, there will be arrest. Now the parallel demonstration. Maybe within a short time we say okay, anyway, now they are man. Forgetting say, oh yes, I know and pay reasons for paying that particular arrest. That is not so in this country. It is not.
Doctors are marching controller. When 2 days time,
I buy as a when I clear in his mind. I buy if he say, "Asama can win na swap."
That's a magical flat staff house.
Yeah, my doctor for strike. I could do. I nim. Doctor so fast way here. Juma how much kwani pankwan. Better Ghana was clear in his mind.
Better Ghana. Better Ghana.
So one kasa about the base the show.
Pamela, who promised better Ghana?
Of course. Of course.
If you mistake now we move here and move better one.
The better Ghana as compared to one no. Obia nim say at least abai given the circumstances we find ourselves. I don't know energy nonsense. Oba abaya breswa. The kind of systems and measures are being put in place as far as generation is concerned. Oh, I don't expect you to be saying this. I don't expect you to be saying it because Unim say even energy system. Some person who even who establish a plant to now. It doesn't in fact a second and so what is idea. And even if it happens, it doesn't reflect within few days. It may take you some time. And then show you know it.
2019.
You know it.
What's 2019?
Please.
For
me, I think that usual with the MPP. When they are dazed with the development going on, they would attempt to throw.
Okay, last batch of messages now for you, sorry, Breno Yabianisa. Augustine, atrophy kade or say kaba. Hey, MPP, what me a hypocrite? Papa, you claim 76,000 foreigners are on the register. But Ghanaians are, but not Ghanaians on the Togolese register. So which country compiled its register first? Where is the logic? Ghanaians are wiser than Biometric and the MPP. Honorable Akando, in fact, you are a disciple and no size. Augustine Atiga, Edificade, and the Ebre. Issa Husseini from Ifie Kumase Kaba. The NDC has come to realize that the opposition PP will not sit down and fold their arms this time round for them to have their way. So the only thing they can do is to coerce the poor woman to submit to their whims and caprices. Issa Husseini and Awode and Ebreng. Michael Asante also here live all the way from London. A very good morning, Encore Enfa Emau. Ebreng I be answer Obi, Obi, Kitu Ebini Encore, a time no so.
Kabao so okay went branch Biometric teachers neka. This can be new and 23rd year or deadline ochina I'm say free Monday no more TS sa no my ya you see I no can say budget we say November we make my budget na inefficiency and non-printers to the extent say assemblies cra or some me year mo budget na ya mom deadline 30th October no ochana kan 1 week assemblies in the brain to me presiding into me set up
that is supposed to be
committees elections need delay kakra because of court process near the NT. That deadline can omit me.
Now election is delay. Unim elections are delay no. your government appointees. Give you 1st September, 1 week later now they are successful. We don't have October, I mean, deadline. We are party chairman, the organizer, and women organizers on the assembly. Presiding crying to me, any budget to assembly budget they are called. I'm saying it's likely to delay. I know, make a company. You see. Say, assembly to me, your presiding member. I'm because such a maybe you're taking decision why your budget and also no buying a quack blame. May say it's likely to delay. And even if I buy a crown for a mantem, let me even grant you that. So I buy and 5.6 crown mantem. Now the every day or the abba, and I'm more time kakra. And now what some now what time we can beat it. Of course, so if because the budget very layer. You're inaugurating, don't go and blame government. I'm not blaming government. You are part of it. You are part of it. We are part of it because you're here election 1st September. What's wrong with this crowd? Yes, you hear me say, friend. Say that. Master, appointees, no. You don't just. I mean, when you appointees, be at least you take some time, and I take it longer time. Maybe assembly, first assembly, no. Chairman, neba. I'm saying no kuskura. We're gonna need. Would better. I don't we're gonna need also assembly. Now, competence no matter what. So if you are talking about competency, talk about competence. But don't go and say because for a chairman, but also we're gonna need. Now me chow. So the battle doesn't come in at all. They say president almost said. Uko elections assembly now lose near the Wabas government appointee. Maybe how better than afford. And so what is wrong with it? I have to saw by Yapamuno government appointees. Government appointees appointees. You know why they appointees? No, you see. Appointees do our profession. For example, only profession assembly no
and this one a problem with the local government system since 92 by governments in power all over the time are appointed apparatchiks.
Everybody NBC or our competence.
Almost time, almost and I'm also more the same thing. We know how the crowd. Or seven to Amwa. Obi Amwa and the Pado Avern, or the Pambone, no. Obi that's it. And I've heard an assessment. Coramita Kando, a member of parliament in the Jabuso, deputy minister. Grants and natural resources. We need to go sorry, but for example, Yami Adoma, or China best at Nasim, where we in shower some perfume because he's a new Mr. and Seminole. The Nasema crew, the director, no BBR. Ever to us an area.